Hey everybody, it's Robert coming to you with another adventure into history. Today I am in Lamar County, Georgia, and I am at the old Rehobeth Church. I'm standing here with Mr. James Butler, and what can you tell me about this amazing old church?
I came up in the church, and I guess the things that I know is stuff that I got from my mom. And I know the church has been here certainly all of my lifetime, and well before that, our deeds and things date back to 1869. And we also have a deed that dates 1873, where some of the trustees purchased some additional land for the location. There used to be a schoolhouse that was across the road here that was reverted back to the original family because the church stopped using it and stuff. But the building's been here for a while. The building, I guess, over the years. From my lifetime, the steps and stuff was the same as when I was a kid, but of course the underpinning is stuff that we've added to it. Now the corner piers are stones that we just had the guys cover with concrete, but those are actually stones that's holding up the framework and stuff, the outer parts of the building. The windows, for all I know, are the same. And of course, we done had the roof redone, and you can see the offices and stuff around the building are more contemporary than what they used to be. But because when we was here as a kid, it was just tin roof. Right. And things and stuff. But the ceilings inside are just incredibly high, which is good, which is acoustically is a great thing. And then some of the light fixtures in there are the stuff that I've only known in my lifetime, which is pretty, I think, antique things that you'll kind of come across and see. But we, up until probably, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago, we didn't even have running water or a restroom and stuff, and we've since added that and stuff. So that was a part of the stuff we experienced. But as a kid, it was just an open area. And even the pews in there are a little different now than what we was a kid, because they were just little board pews and stuff when I was a kid, and coming to church and stuff here. We used to have 2 wooden heaters on each side of the church that went up through the roof for outlet of smoking gas, and you'll see some of that, some remnants of that, even with what we've redone with the ceilings and things like that. But it certainly is an old structure, and it's a mainstay. We still have some folks come from up north that come back and visit, and of course a lot of their ancestors are buried here and things like that. So, and it's just a unique building, I guess, and it's a place that we do our best, I guess, to keep alive. Although it's certainly going away to some extent, because let's say I'm 63 and I'm probably the youngest person in the church now. So we always meditate and think about what's going to become of it. But hopefully we can get at least have something in place to where at least take care of the facility, the buildings, and certainly the cemetery, if nothing else, when most of us may be gone and whatnot. Yeah. And most of the folks here came through here as kids. Yeah. And stuff. So yeah, and so that connection will always be there. And of course, we have some of our folks out here and everything too. So, and then you can just look at some of the cedar trees. The cedar trees are huge, and some older trees. So they've been here for a while. Yeah. And stuff. So that's interesting. There used to be 2 big oak trees here that we used to have like dinner on Sundays and things like that. And that pile over there is in the hole of where one of the root systems were, and things like that. So. But we still, of course, the suppers and stuff was always done outside when I was a kid and stuff. So, and now we don't get into serving food on ground just because of sanitation and whatever thing may come about. But all those is just memories we have of just coming up through here and things. So it's interesting. And of course, the doors are different. There used to be just 2 huge doors, and you can see that frame part. The doors used to go all the way up to that other area. Oh, wow. And then when we had the guys put in new doors, that got closed off and stuff. But the doors are huge. I kept the old ones as long as I could, but they didn't deteriorate since then. Yeah. But and you can see what kind of flooring here, the board flooring, because we've covered part of it with carpet. But you'll be able to see some open flooring once you get in and stuff also. And of course, and all this stuff is things that's been added for the restrooms and just storage since, but it used to be just an open area all the way back to the doors. And of course, all this roofing and stuff is new stuff. But once you get in here, you'll see some remnants of the old ceiling, although we've covered some of that, because it used to be just boards up there too. But you can see the opening where the heater used to be, the old stove heater. for heating. And then the light fixture has just been there. The light fixture has been there all my lifetime. So, but you can see how there was some older fixtures and stuff, unique, interesting.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And with the curtains and stuff, you get some idea on the sides of the windows, but those are, for us to replace those windows, they would be a special order now. So we don't, we're looking to get some new windows, but we're gonna have to probably frame around some of those to get what's some of the contemporary stuff that's existed now. This is some of the original flooring from when I was a kid. It's still there. And of course, we've added gas heaters and stuff for heat. You couldn't hardly drive a nail through some of that wood now and stuff. It's incredible how strong and firm that the material is and stuff. The pulpit is the same as it was when I was a kid. The banister is the same as it was when I was a kid. I think we added that little handle for the pastor to get up and down because as far as mobility challenges and stuff. Matter of fact, these tables and stuff are for here when I was a kid, so I'm not sure how old they are, but they are probably considered an antique, I guess, right. And stuff. And that old door, the frame is from that back door is the same, even though the door is different. And we, of course, we put in the fans and things, so we had to carve that out to get those in there. But yeah, we use a mic now because somebody wanted it. But as far as your voice carrying, it carries when you're in here and you're singing or just talking. You can do without them. But but nowadays with modern stuff and people like mics and stuff, so they get into that. And you may want to see the back of it because just that little stoop that sticks out, as far as that was there all while I was a kid and stuff too. So I don't think that's changed much. And you get a chance to see some of the stone that's foundation for the building. And similar stones and stuff is under, as far as supporting the beams and stuff that's under there and everything. So that's, and stuff. So it's interesting. And, I found that neat. But to get under the church, it would be nice if it was light under there because you can see a lot of it. But the soil is so different because it's never been, it haven't been weathered over the years. So it just is dry and kind of sandy and stuff and dusty. If you got allergies and stuff, you don't want to be under there because any movement kind of makes it powders up and stuff. So yeah, but it's interesting. But all this is original from what I can tell. But you can see from this wood, and that's just rigid. That's just some, it's just to drive a nail through that nail would be kind of a chore. Yeah. And that's really some cured wood there. Those joists, the 2x4s or whatever. They're probably rough cut anyway. It's all rough cut. Right. But you can see one of the windows. Now this is the real damage. Is why we need to replace some of them. But that's the old frame window that's falling apart that we're gonna have to replace. And it look. I don't know whether they did anything with the framing or not, but it's been that way since I was a kid. And that, just the steepness of their roof is incredible. I couldn't imagine putting tin up there when originally, because certainly they don't have the equipment and stuff the folks have today to be able to do that. Because the guys that re-roofed it, they enjoyed it. But of course they all had safety harnesses and things like that when they was even with the roofing. Now I think these windows have been changed because you see the difference in those two windows. But as a kid, those are the size of the window panes. That was what I was used to seeing in the church. So I think these have been changed out at some point. And we're getting ready to try to change them out again. Yeah.
And it looks like maybe the windows used to go down.
Yeah, it looks like it may have came down because they probably reduced them. Because it may have gone all the way down to the floor and but some of that lapping is done. So something's been done right here. It looked like to fill in, but yeah.
Yeah, under each
one, you can tell. You can tell something's been added. Yeah, and the nails, some of them was like those little rectangle, like almost like a square that, as opposed to pointed and stuff. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we look under right here? Maybe I can shine my light and.
But you can see the spans of those, of the joists and stuff. It's incredible the span they would do for some of these buildings. As far as the cemetery down, we done had it down at some point, but it's so few of us and time-wise, if it rained and the water hit, that those weeds and stuff, once we cut them, it creates that mechanism where they grow faster, so to speak, and they'll catch up to us and stuff. But so we try to maintain that main part, and then we gradually work on the outer parts to try to get it under control. But it goes all the way over to that fence line for the most part.
And I'm going to guess that this is kind of the older section here?
Well, that, and then there's an older section up on the hill there too. That's probably an older section. But you can see some of the more contemporary stuff with the headstones and stuff that have been added in and stuff. But certainly it's, this is part of the older stuff. And then I don't know if you can, let's see how legible that one is.
I tell you what, if you stand and cast a shadow on it, there you go. Let's see, that's A.N. Banks.
Yeah. There's one of a Please Banks that used to be a trustee of the church. I know I've seen his name in some of the deeds and stuff from years ago.
He lived a good long life.
He did, So he died when he was 92, and then 30. Yeah, oh yeah, he was back there. Well, he was definitely one of the original guys, I think.
Yeah.
That when the church was organized.
And then there's this incredible stone here for Charles F. Weems. He was born May 6, 1890, and died October 7th, 1918. He was in the
151 looked like.
Yeah.
Deeper grade. Yep.
Served with honor in the World War, and died in the service of his country.
Mm-hmm.
That is an incredible stone there.
Yep. It's some writing on this one, but I can't make it out. If I know, probably could have. Well, somebody just wrote in something.
Oh yeah, hand engraved.
Mm-hmm.
Fanny Banks died April.
Is that 1910 or? That look like a 10 on the end, but it's hard to say. And yeah, see, now you're gonna make me come out here and get some to clean it so I can make out what it is. Yeah, there's a couple of big ones out there, but it looked like one of them that fell over. But I know it was some taller ones that was out in that area. But I don't know. And this one right here looked like might have been a veteran or somebody, you know, that's over in here. But just that headstone. Watch that hole.
Jeannie Verdon, Georgia Private First Class, 328th Service Battalion, Quartermaster Corps, May 9th.
39, that's 39, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't know, because that one, you can see that one fall over. I had to get it up one day and see what, yeah. But it's probably some older ones on up here too. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Vaughn right here. This is an interesting one, 1844 to 1898. Wow.
And Ellen Vaughn, July 5th, 1845 to February 14th, 1917.
I think the storm knocked that one off one time. I've had to stand them back up before. Yeah. And that's a unique little style, you know, headstones in that, you know, footstone there. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to clean that one.
Julie,
Watley, look like, yeah, Watley, maybe.
December 1st, 1930, age 45, yeah.
Yep, mm-hmm. So she was born in 1800s, yeah.
And John
Clark.
August 4th, 1876, July 10th, 1936. And this was
Willie Mays. Willie M. Mays.
pretty little headstone.
Mm-hmm, it is, yeah.
Let's see what that says. Joe Clark, I think.
Does that help? No, that don't help much.
Oh,
yeah, it does look like a Clark. Mm-hmm.
Clark died March 29th, 1930, age 80 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Gone but not forgotten, Joe Clark. Oh, there's another one.
That deteriorated pretty good in it, but it's
Yeah, still see.
Look like in that Watley family, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Watley.
Mm-hmm. And probably more of the more recent ones is those on the backside that we've recently had some, you know, buried. Yeah. Right. But there are some older graves down on that end also. Okay. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, the ladies' outhouse was over here and the guys' outhouse was over here to the other side. It may be some remnants of the old outhouse, but it didn't collapse now. Yeah.
Marked with the field stones.
And you can't see that one, but
oh yeah, that one's got a.
I wish I had that brush with me.
It was 1937.
Now that one's been there for the longest. I don't know how old it is, but I know from a kid that little border around there have always been there. Might have been cedar. That, you know, a lot of times because cedar is what lasts and don't rot out as much. But these things been here for.
Yeah.
And that's a Fambro. That's a Fambro.
That is. There's a like mortise and tenon, or
okay.
the peg in it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that is a really old piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I think that like the most impressive angle of this church is looking at it from the back.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I drove up, it was just it was amazing.
Yeah. And you can see on this side where those windows went down farther.
Sure enough.
Yeah, mm-hmm. This one right here was a funeral that was had this year, and that one last year and the year before. So these are more contemporary from here over, and then the rest of them, those been there for a while. See that style of headstone there? That's yeah. Yeah. But this family is good at coming out. Most of them live in Atlanta, and they come down and take care of some of the family graves and stuff.
Walter J. Spear.
Spear, and the Spear family is the one to come down and take care of all this. Some of the ancestors. Yep.
There's another older, I think, concrete
Right. Mm-hmm.
with hand.
That's a
hand engraved.
neat little style too, isn't it? Yeah. That look like a Banks.
Yeah, it's Mr. Please Banks, July 15th, 1885 to May 2nd, 1941, age 57.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he,
I wonder if that's a junior. Some cause wasn't that other name over there? Please. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was gonna say, this is interesting because this looks like an Eldrin Bailey style engraving
Okay. Mm-hmm.
in it, and it's got the just like
Seller Brothers. Look at that.
yeah, just like Eldrin Bailey stone. It has the funeral home at the bottom. I wonder if this is a very early Eldrin Bailey. The S's are similar. It's concrete. There's no plaster on it, but that engraving with the funeral home name
Right. Mm-hmm.
is his style.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Having Mr. on it is his style. But it looks like a mixture of stamping, but the way that the letters are stamped in there is
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
same style as Eldrin Bailey. And I actually just saw that there's some Eldrin Bailey stones over here. There's a Eldrin Bailey stone. It says it's got funeral home name at the top, which is Murdoch, I think, Murdahl.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Molly Butler, April 21st, 1959.
Okay, and look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the engraving is just so similar.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or the
stamping,
lettering,
mhm.
yeah. And that's probably one of your relatives right there.
Well, I have to assume so. I'm gonna have to find out now. I'm gonna do a little research and see, because I can't ever recall my mom speaking to that, but that didn't mean she did.
Right.
As a kid, as far as how much we may have paid attention or not.
Miss Catherine W. Hill, 1887 to 1960s, has Banks Funeral Home at the top on that Eldrin Bailey stone.
1840 to 1903, John Marion Crawford.
And John Henry Crawford down here, 1870, 1930.
Yeah.
And then lots of graves that are marked with field stones
Right, mhm.
throughout here too.
Yep.
There's a indentation for a grave right there.
Mhm. Yeah.
And back here was where the
Well, yeah, they see that remnants of that tin and stuff. That was what the ladies' outhouse was. Yeah. But and of course the guys we didn't totally swiped it up because all that stuff it was over there and stuff. But it's gone. I know it's gone because I know we had some guys cut some wood off this property. We let them come through here to get it out, and I know that took care of a lot of that stuff, that the remnants of the men's outhouse.
All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed seeing this amazing old church here and hearing some of the history of it. Beautiful building,
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking the time to show us around.
Well, we appreciate you, kind of, I guess, putting it on display or whatnot, and just creating that, I guess, that option of knowledge and information for folks, particularly folks in this community, to understand where, where we were and where we are, and kind of where, why we are who we are, so to speak.
Absolutely.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.